All right, welcome back inside our Vancouver Proactive Studios, and joining us now on Skype, are you ready for this one? From the Arctic Circle is Michael Hudson, the CEO of Mawson Resources. And Michael, it's great to talk to you. You're in Finland.
I am indeed, literally reporting back from site.
So we're talking a little about the Rajapalot Project that you have. So before we get to the results, let's talk a little bit about this project in general. Tell me about it and what work has been done and where you are right now as far as work so far this year as well.
Sure. This is a discovery we've made over the last 7 or 8 years. The first discovery was made, but most of the work, drilling, is around about 35 to 40 kilometres has gone in the last 2 years. We just finished 15 kilometres of drilling. Half the results have been released, another half to go. And a first up resource came out at the end of last year, which was just under 500,000 ounces. That was at very good grade, around 3 grams open pittable and a little more than 5 underground gold equivalent. And that resource really only lasted for about a month before we started drilling again. So really halfway through the results from the winter program. So a lot happening. And behind me here, I'll just stand away for one moment. You can see our fantastic core facility where everyone's gone home. It's just the end of the day here, but this has been a hive of activity for the last 4 or 5 months, where we spent upwards of $5 million expanding the resources and finding new areas.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about today, is one of those new areas. So from where you're working on, this area is a little bit to the south, is that right?
Yeah, it's about a kilometre south of the Palokas resource area and about 700 metres west of the Raja resource area. So a new area. It's pretty exciting, right? Because this is a very early stage in the discovery history here. So a main focus was to extend known resources, but a secondary focus for us during the winter was to try and find new areas and build them out and for drilling seasons to come. So we'll be going back into these areas at the end of the year when we get the freeze again and we can get out onto the wetter areas. So yeah, a better result of 7.4 meters at 4.4 grams per ton gold equivalent is a pretty strong result in a new area. We had a few other hits around there, and literally it came from the best boulder area, boulders that we found a number of years ago. So just good, rigorous exploration that's led to drill discoveries, and that we drill gold over 300 meters in a radius around 300 meters in this new area called Rumajärvi. And it's got a lot more work, but the system is getting bigger.
Yeah, and that work will continue, obviously, because you'll have more assays coming out, obviously, from what you did of the winter program. But will there be more drilling being done in the summer right now?
Yeah, we've got about 80% of our 16,000 hectares that is drillable during summer. So a large percentage where we can go back. But we're just compiling all the results and really seeing what we should be doing. We'll certainly be back on the ground. We've got 7 or 8 geologists ready to get on the ground when the snow, which is just finally melting. So it's really only May that it's a bit harder to get onto the forest roads that are still a bit sloppy and the like. But we'll be back on the ground with geologists. We'll be running geophysics, and from that work, we'll decide whether we need to drill over the next 3 or 4 months, or put all our efforts towards a very big campaign at the end of the year when everything freezes again, as I mentioned.
And will you be going back to market for cash now, or do you feel confident with where you're at for the rest of this year?
Well, that's predicated my answers. We've got about $2 million left in the bank. We've spent 5 over the last 4 or 5 months. So if we want a big drill program this winter, we'll need to go back to the market. We're not in a hurry necessarily. I mean, the market is pretty dour at the moment. So we'll get all our results out. We've already announced that many of the drill holes that we're still to announce have visible gold noted in them. And we want to get what we think is a very strong end to the season out into the public, and then we'll just see where we're at.
Well, Michael, thanks very much for sharing some details of this and joining us from the Arctic Circle as well. Great to talk to you again.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Steve.
All right, it's Michael Hudson, the CEO of Mawson Resources.